Right, so now we've got that underway. I think we should go on to the Buried by Backlog section, don't you, Brad?
No, Joe. I just don't want to. I'm going home.
Okay, I think you should go. You should go home. Yeah,
go for it, Joe.
This session, we were playing Monster Hunter Rise, and I would love to know your guys' thoughts on this game. How confused were you at the beginning?
Oh my! The most confused. Let's say that.
How overwhelmed with text boxes and speech bubbles?
Yeah, I will say the tutorials are not good.
No, I'll definitely get out there. Before we get into it, like the onboarding experience for new players is just bad.
Yeah,
but I think everyone knows that. Hardcore Monster Hunter, players know that and kind of wouldn't want it any other way. Because there is so much in the game that if you were a veteran player, you wouldn't want to do that every time. But I do wish there was like
an option to turn it on or off.
Yeah, a new player experience. Like
would you like to be offered these beginner quests before you go?
Yeah. But the only problem with that is I feel like, will it maybe take a bit too long to get going? Will it engage new players enough?
That's true.
Well, that's what I thought the problem was with previous installments in the series. Like when they were on handheld consoles on the 3DS and the PSP and stuff like that, all the starting quests were identical. They were go find some herbs, go make a potion, go hunt your first small monster, like eat a ration. There, your quest's over. And then it's like, I've got to do this every single time.
And as a new player, you're going to be like...
You don't want that, yeah.
Exactly. So it's a difficult challenge to overcome,
sword, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it should. I think there should be a tutorial to fight a bigger monster. That should be the tutorial. You start the game, and you're fighting. You're already in a mission.
A really dumb one.
Monster.
Oh, they put you in the deep end.
On the way. Oh, you might need a herb on the way. Go grab that. Oh, this is how you make a potion. Oh, make this specific potion for the monster. Yeah. Stuff like that. I think that'd be a better way of doing it.
Give you loads of like really good stuff. Make it so the monster doesn't do that much damage to you, maybe as like a bit rubbish attacks, but it gives you a bit of an idea of maybe not the end game, but the mid game experience.
And like Forza style, here's a Ferrari. Now you're not having a Ferrari.
To be fair,
though, a Volkswagen Fox.
To be fair, that might be a good way of doing it.
Yeah. Also, pick your weapon at the start because everybody starts with a longsword, but I think it'd be better to be like pick your weapon from the get go.
Yeah, you can change whenever you want, but make it a bit more obvious. I don't know.
I thought I just had to have the longsword until I bought a new weapon, but you have them all unlocked at the start, which is great. I just wish it had gone, what do you want?
Yeah.
From the get-go.
Yeah. So we wanted to do this episode a bit more structured, didn't we? Because we just kind of talk around in circles in these sections. So you had a bit of a list, didn't you, Jacob?
I did. So I suppose we're kind of
talk about it.
We're kind of talking about the... new players to the series, the new experience from the get-go. Now, quickly, so glad we had you, Joe.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah.
You are the veteran Monster Hunter, training us mere apprentices.
Even with you there, it was horrendously overwhelming, so I can't imagine ever trying to do it without you there.
Yeah.
You did a much better job than Ben did with Sea of Thieves.
Oh, don't throw Ben under the...
I'm sorry,
don't
Ben.
throw him overboard.
No, you both did a great job, but kudos, Joe, because there is a lot.
Yeah, there is
so much, and every time we had a question, you had an answer to it. So
we must have been asking so many questions.
Yeah, like what's this brown smell coming off me?
Oh yeah, you need deodorant for that.
You need deodorant. Thanks.
That's actually a thing in the game.
Yeah,
that wasn't just happening at Brad's house.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many mechanics to get to grips with, I suppose. So yeah, there's so much crammed into the game.
Definitely.
It is an intensely deep game to just be thrown into for a couple of weeks. I imagine most players when they first get started, they take a long time to get into doing the village quests and then doing the hub quests and then doing all the little arty-farty bits in the village that you can help people out with. But because this was
cooking your
full
meals.
of podcast format, we had to get into the actual main thrust of the game fast.
We used all the cheap weapons, didn't we? The early high damage stuff that can just
I did try and dissuade you from using all that, but I found out that it would take too long to get to where we wanted to go, which was mid-early game if we didn't use the good stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, as you said, on one hand, it's so good that it's got all these things in the game. How have they got all this in the game? But it is, unfortunately, a little overwhelming. I do feel like some of it's a little pointless. Like, I don't quite still get the point of the herbs and stuff that you collect.
They're for making things so you don't have to buy them.
On the fly.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. You can, because you get a limited amount of things you can make or like bring in each hunt. So you get like 10 potions, you get the 10 mega potions, and then you get the ones that you get from the box at the very beginning of each mission.
I think based on, until the very last guy we tried to beat, we didn't really die that much other than Ben, but most of us didn't really die that much.
So much for it.
I've got a sign on my back. Kick me, Anna.
Would you like is that what it is? Over then again.
To be fair, those monsters hated you.
Yeah, they did. They all came for me without a doubt.
But my point being is we didn't use a lot of our health potions. And I think the later game stuff, like we found out with that mini boss or the boss that we fought at the end, became a lot harder.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're using all your potions, so you need your herbs to be able to make more potions on the fly.
Yeah.
I think that's the point of them. But I
suppose like early game, I'm just running past everything. No, I need to just get to the monster.
Yeah.
Also, because we were using the good armor and good weapons, meant we didn't need to heal as often because the monsters weren't doing anything to us.
Yeah, of course.
So you weren't used to having to go and get healed.
Yeah.
I had to buy minimum 6 big potions to take with me every single time because the ones that it gave you for that fight was not enough for me. Why did everything just look at me as soon as I got in the room?
I think because you had the hammer and they knew they didn't want to get knocked out. Like, I got to take out that guy.
That'll be it,
Get him first,
Yeah. Well, speaking of hammer and combat.
Yeah, should we move on to combat?
Yeah.
Yes. So, and how varied it is depending on what you pick.
Yeah, it is. Like, how many weapons are there, Joe? 20? Maybe a bit less, maybe 15, something like that.
Did you die?
14 weapon types.
14 weapon types.
Nice. It was just counting.
Yeah, it was. So there's quite a lot of weapon types, quite a lot of variety, and each weapon type has its own moveset, which is pretty distinct from each other.
Yeah.
And later in the game, you can vary each weapon's play style as well.
Yeah.
Really? What different like combos?
We didn't get up to that part yet. But there's you've got your wire bug moves. You can change what those do, like later on in the game.
Yes, I remember.
And it changes all your combos and stuff.
Which is cool. So they have all these different weapons. All of them were unique as well. You've not really seen them in other games, other than like your longsword, or your dual blades even, They're pretty like standard, but like your gun lance and your bug,
my favorite.
What's it called? The bug blade, whatever it's called.
The insect glaive.
The insect glaive. Bug blade sounds like a cool name.
Exactly the same.
But they've all got like really interesting and unique ways of playing them. Definitely. Which again, I don't think the game explains them very well. You've got your training area, but it doesn't necessarily explain great how to use these weapons. So
there's the area to train, but no one to train you there.
So like guides online are useful for that.
But it does give you some combos in the training area at least.
So that's really good. My criticism with the combat though is that each weapon type had its own sort of set of combos, but the combos weren't that deep. Maybe it was just the weapons I was using, but it was kind of just press Y, press B, press Y and B together, and that's kind of it. I felt like there weren't a lot of moves. You couldn't chain different moves together. Like when you see people playing it, it almost looks like it's going to be like Devil May Cry style, loads of different combos, directional inputs do different stuff and loads of abilities you're throwing out. But it wasn't quite that.
It does do that with some weapons, like because you chose dual blades, they're a quick get in, do some damage, get out. So you don't want a lot of long combos with that weapon. Sword and shield's kind of the same.
Yeah.
But with some weapons like the gun lance that Jake used, there's a lot of directional input will affect what happens next for your next button press.
Oh, that's good. I did try the insect glaive because that was quite cool. I didn't get on with it, but only because I struggled with it.
Oh, the air movement
and it
on
did
that
change
thing is so
up.
good.
It is really cool. But I just struggled with it. But even then, I just felt like maybe it gets a little bit repetitive sometimes.
I kind of agree with Brad on that fact. However, there's so much in the combat as well at the same time. Like fighting, all the monsters have different movesets you have to learn.
Yeah.
It's all about timing those moves. And I don't know if it quite work the same if you had a multitude of combos.
I think it's things like the combat doesn't play like a lot of other games. Like it's got its own unique, like you can't like animation cancel, for example. Once you do an attack, you're locked into that attack till the end of the animation, which is a Monster Hunter thing. You want to pick the time. So like once the enemy's attached, you counter with your attack, because once you're attacking, you're locked into that. So it's a strategic thing, but it's just not something that I'm used to. And I found it quite hard to overcome because I'm used to other games.
Yeah, Monster Hunter is the kind of game where you're not improving your hunter as much as you're improving your knowledge of what the monster does to know when to do the things your hunter can do.
It's almost Souls-like combat. Almost.
Yeah. People do
I
bring
got
up
more
that
satisfaction out of that. Yeah, I do get more satisfaction out of Souls, but I get the point. Like, you're learning the boss. Your character is improving a lot as well, though, and you're improving your control of the character a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas it's more kind of, as you just said then, Joe, like you learn the monster because you're quite limited in what your character can do. It all comes down to putting your stats up, but mainly learning what the monster can do, when you can attack, etc., etc., which is different. You know, it is interesting.
I see why people like. I definitely get why people really like Monster Hunter and when they get into it, because the combat is really deep. Whereas I do agree with Brad. Sometimes it gets a bit boring with doing the same combos over and over again, because there isn't a lot you can do a lot of the time. But the combat is so deep at the same time.
I don't know
so
if
many different weapons.
Right word, like per weapon class, I don't think it's deep.
Well, we probably didn't see this as much, but like there's so many different versions of your weapon. No, they don't change the combat, but they change like what damage you do and what
how much sharpness you have. If you can apply a status or an ailment, or you can make it go to sleep. I don't think we used them as much, but there's bombs you can put down. You can use like throwing daggers to apply things.
I think there's depth outside of the move set. And the thing is, and just purely because it's the way I play games, like I'm even finding it with Lies of P at the moment, I'm unlocking loads of throwable stuff. I never use them in games. I never use anything.
So good.
Other than my weapons. Like I live to upgrade my weapons and my moveset and sort of make my base abilities better. And
I honestly thought he was just going to say, I live to stab and only stab. I don't throw, just stab.
Just stab.
No block, no dodge, just stab.
But you know, like that's how I play personally. I don't like so much having all these consumable, throwable items. You know what I mean? But I get how there's a lot of depth in that side of it.
There is. It's kind of like at the same time you have to put your weapon away to go sharpen your weapon outside. You have to.
It can be a bit fiddly, can't it?
It can be a bit fiddly.
Yeah, I think if we move on to the controls, like in general.
Just before we move on to the controls, Ben, you haven't said much about the combat. How did you find it?
I found to be on my backside more than anything, and swinging a hammer in the wrong direction because it had already moved. I liked the combat. I think. I don't think I was particularly good at it, but I did like it.
You did start on one of the more complex weapons in the game, though, to be fair. The switch axe.
I really enjoyed them, both, because I always look for something heavy. That's kind of, I always got tank in a game.
Yeah.
And hammer was the later choice just to know nothing. So the switch axe I trained with a little bit in the training area, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it definitely added two sides of one weapon, which is nice. The hammer was a little bit more restricted. It felt like I was repeating the powerful moves more, I'd say.
Yeah. Slower.
And in the wrong direction. Yeah. But I was all right with it. I was all right with the combat, definitely. I think the more I'd played it, I'd probably get better at it, as in timing wise, but that'd be about it.
I was not good with the timings.
No. Yeah, I was just spamming my attacks, and then sometimes you'd miss them, and you'd be just.
So you guys weren't getting hit because it was all aimed at my face, so it's fine.
You are a tank.
And then Joe, like, is this different to other Monster Hunter games? Or how do you find the combat? Just in general, I suppose.
Compared to a lot of the other entries in the series, this is the most mobile you've ever been as a
with
hunter.
the wire bug, yeah.
With the wire bugs.
Which
and even
I do
when you
say,
get hit, you can wire bug away.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I did dabble in a little bit of Monster Hunter World, and that felt really slow.
It is a lot slower.
Yeah,
I've gone
did
back
much
to it a couple
more,
of times, and I've been like, "Ooh, I'm
I
trying to
much
dodge
prefer
away here,
this.
and I can't because I don't have the bugs anymore."
But even things like the maps being bigger on World and not having as much traversal and everything like that, World was just a lot slower. I much preferred the pace of this one.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You can tell that this one was made for Switch as well, I think, in like the map design and
yeah.
Because you get around fast on a dog to the place where you need to fight the monster. You can see where it is immediately. You don't have to hunt for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like, I don't know if you guys saw at the start of every mission, you send your owl away. That's the reason why you can see where the monsters are on the map.
Oh, no, that makes sense.
That does make sense.
I've seen him do it each time, and I was thinking, what's the point in having this bird?
Because
he's your eye in the sky.
I always thought, I was thinking, before I played this, I was thinking Monster Hunter would be tracking down the monsters first.
That's what you do on World.
Is that what you do on World then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I look for footprints and scent tracks.
Yeah. Once you find enough of them.
And I was a bit like, it's weird. I thought it would be that, but instead it gives you a point on the map that you need to go to, and that's where the monster is, and then we just start fighting it.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's quite cool, actually.
People who are hardcore Monster Hunter fans did say when this game came out, this is more Monster Fighter than Monster Hunter.
Right.
Maybe there's a good balance between the two where they can speed up the process of hunting, but not have it as long and tedious as it is in World, but make it still faster and snappier like it is in.
Well, Wilds is coming out next year.
Do that in Wilds,
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Meet in the middle.
Cool.
So what's next on the subject roster, Jake?
Well, let's go into the controls then.
Only a really quick one. I've really struggled. Like,
definitely at first.
There's a lot of buttons, and a lot of buttons aren't that intuitive. Like, it's still weird to me using Y and B to attack, but because no other game does that. It's like when you learn to jump in Skyrim and it's Y.
Well, it's Y, B, and then occasionally right trigger.
Yeah.
And then
then there's so much you can't do with your weapons out. You have to put your weapons away.
Yes.
And you've seen the size of those things? You won't be able to do anything holding those.
I almost wish like you automatically put them away. Like in most games, you've got your weapons out, but if you wanted to go up and carve the animal, you'd go up, the button prompt would appear, you'd press it, your character would put his weapons away and then carve it. Whereas in this, you have to put them away. So sometimes it makes me think I can't interact with this because the button prompt hasn't appeared.
Yeah.
But then what's weird is you put your weapons away with X, but you don't get them out with X. You get them out by attacking. So it's just things like that. I think the more and more you play it, the more it just becomes
ingrained and you kind of forget about it.
But when you're playing other games that all play in a similar way, for better or for worse, it's quite hard. When we're only playing it once a week, it was quite hard to get back into it, if you like. But
I
definitely struggled to adapt. The whole riding the monster thing when you took it over.
That took me forever to get used to as well. It
just did not feel right having to hold a bumper button to make it move.
And it feels like they move too fast when you're on them, like faster moving when they were fighting you.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that they were panicking because you're on their back and like, get off me, I need to run it.
Kind of simultaneously slow. Like they move fast in a direction, but they turn really slow.
Oh, yeah.
They attack really slow.
Like a combine harvester.
So it's like, so it's quite hard, but that's all I kind of wanted to say on controls.
I generally agree. They just feel a bit off to me. And yes, you can get used to them by keep playing.
This is the first time they've done this in this series as well. Being able to control them while you're on them.
Oh, the monsters.
Oh, the monsters, yeah.
The monsters, yeah.
That's cool.
In World, you could climb on the monster and like do damage, but they ultimately controlled where they were going.
Yeah.
But you were just along for the ride and trying not to get hit by them.
Cool.
Just the controls just fell off to me. I just feel like they could be better if they rearrange them.
Or have the option to rearrange them yourself, like on the controller prompts.
I get there's so much going on. Like your item wheel, why isn't that just like on the D-pad? You know what I mean?
It's on the thumbstick. It's a radial wheel.
I know we have to hold
left bumper.
Yeah, you have to hold left bumper, but would it not just be better just D-pad and that's it? Kind of like Elden Ring.
Well, then you'd only get 4. This way
I don't.
No. You keep
that,
you keep scrolling through them by pressing left and right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then RB to run. Would it be better with just pressing the stick in to run?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Can you?
And then
you can turn that option on.
Okay.
When you're navigating the menus, you have to use the D-pad. You can't use the analog stick.
Yeah, that does get me as well. Sometimes I
just little
thought my
things.
controller was running out.
It's not massive things, because you can easily get used to it if I keep playing
but
it.
I do feel this relates back to the new player experience, where I don't think Monster Hunter, the developers like Capcom, are trying to appeal to new people. I think they've got their fan base. New people join, great, but they're aiming these games at the fan base, which is respectable.
100%, yeah.
If they change it too much and they piss off their fan base.
Yeah. Definitely. Cool. So next, monsters. Really cool.
Cool design.
There's some great designs in this game.
Yeah, we only saw a handful, but I did get the impression there was going to be a lot more.
There's God, I don't actually know the figure of how many monsters there are in this game, but there's a lot.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest rosters as well. It's bigger than Worlds by quite a way.
Cool. Well, it beats Worlds by quite. That's quite impressive.
Yeah, World had quite a small roster until Iceborne came out, but that was just bringing them back from previous games and sprinkling in a few new ones.
I like how they all fight in slightly different ways. There's different ways to beat them. You can like knock certain body parts off different ones. That makes them attack differently. Makes you get
like
more
that
resources.
Tail on the Raytheon.
Yeah.
And they all have different they all have different. So one of them might be poison, and you have to use a certain thing to get the poison off. Or
it wasn't quite like. It was really deep in what it did, but I would have liked it a little bit better, I think, is if you, say, chopped off the tail, that gave a different material. So, like, Raytheon tail can make certain weapons or armor, whereas you can only do that. That does happen.
Yeah, so, like, say, lances, they're like a longer weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of those require the tail of a monster rather than, say, a door blades. They wouldn't require the tail piece to be cut off for you to craft those.
I see. I didn't realize that.
To be fair, I did notice when we were carving up the tail rather than the main body, it was coming up with a different description.
Yeah, I thought it was just normal body parts. But okay, that's cool. There you go. Cool. Scratch what I just said.
I have often wished that they'd implement this thing where each, say, like, if there's the corpse of the monster in front of you, I wish that you would say, if you wanted the wing, go to the wing to carve the wing to get the wing, rather than it be a random 3 things you can carve.
Yeah,
say you really needed the wing, you would specifically go and try and break that bit of the monster.
So you can still only get 3, but you choose. Yeah, I think that would
choose where on the monster you get it, or at least increase the likelihood of that being the thing you get from that zone on the monster.
Yeah, because I can see the game being a little bit grindy.
Yeah,
just don't quite game. There's a lot of farming the same monster for like a super rare drop that comes from it. Like it's like 2 or 3% chance to drop.
Yeah. Which for people who love the game, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Playing. It really makes you hone your skill to get them fights down to like 5 minutes each.
Wow. Yeah. So kind of brings us on to the style of the game from the monsters. Really enjoyed the style. I think it's got...
When you say style, do you mean like art
how
style?
anime this is.
Yeah.
The
art style, yeah.
Singing and dancing cats all the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the type of thing I usually like. It was really well implemented. It's a bit cheesy for me, but that's just what it is. I appreciate they've done a really good job at what it is, but the singing and dancing cats, it just...
I would say it wouldn't be out of place in the Demon Slayer world if you bring it to anime.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff in it, you'd be like, oh yeah, I can see that.
It's very anime, yeah. It's just, I
love the extreme differences going from one room to another, sort of one room. But you go down the village, it looks completely different in one area, and you go into another one, it's all like cherry blossomy, and the difference in the looks, I think they've done well to make it look as extreme.
A lot going on.
You're in a different area.
I think
it makes the village feel more alive as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think they had to do a lot of this like art style and add all these things that you say in there, Ben, because it was on Switch. They had to maybe tone the graphics back, but they've really more than made up for that with the art style and sort of the things they have. And
it's very colourful as well compared to World.
I was going to say that like graphically it's not that impressive.
No.
But it did. No. You have to mention that it did come out originally on Switch. So for the Switch, it probably is quite impressive.
And didn't detract from the experience at all. There was some funny moments where I can't remember what the guy is called at the beginning.
the elder guy.
The elder guy. He has a really quite detailed face, but then his armor textures were really flat.
The chainmail, yeah.
Chainmail. So it's just things like that. But it doesn't take away from anything. Again, it's a Switch game. But even if it wasn't, it's not the end of the world.
No,
it's how it plays at the end of the day.
Definitely.
Definitely.
I don't know if you experienced much of his character in the story bits you played, like on your own for that week. But he's such a good character in the game. He's so fun to be around.
We experienced a bit of him, but I didn't see too much.
I have to admit, I did start skipping a lot of the text. It was getting a bit...
That was down to the tutorials for me. Because it was going on so much with every single time I tried to pull a nose hair out, it decided to tell me 18 boxes worth of text. it just made me start skipping. And none of that's a bad thing. And in fact, you even told me off, didn't you, Joe? Because it was like, oh yeah, there was a thing that I just
told
skipped
you
through.
that 2 minutes ago.
To be fair, it was a product as well of having Joe with us. We didn't need to read a lot of it. We could just ask Joe, which is just laziness on our part. But
and to be fair, we played a lot of the online, which is different to the story of the game.
Yeah. Well, just talking of that, like the online experience was, it was great with players. But one thing that annoyed me was we'd do a main mission and then you'd unlock all the stuff for it.
Yeah.
But we'd have to do it again for me to unlock everything.
The urgent quests.
Yeah. So that was a bit irritating. It wasn't the end of the world, but it took us a while to realize that the reason I didn't have all the weapon trees unlocked or Ben didn't was because we did the mission on your world. Or you selected the mission.
Did we get around that with the... So we ended up doing a mission the last time we played where it was loads of monsters.
Split up.
It was like a defense mission.
Yeah, the rampage mission.
Yeah. So we ended up all selecting the rampage mission separately. And then it turned out that we all ended up doing it in our respective quest.
That wouldn't have made a difference. It's only the red urgent quests where you've got to do them all separately. Yeah.
Which is, it's not the end of the world. It was just a minor annoyance. But
what did you all think of the rampage, by the way? Did you all enjoy the...
I loved the fact it mixed it up.
Yeah.
I really liked it. The only thing I would say against it was when the monsters died, they just randomly disappeared in the middle of me trying to fight them.
So you just carry on attacking them and not realizing they're just slow.
But it was really cool. I really liked it. Yeah. A lot easier to kill the monsters.
I did prefer the main fights. But
the main hunts,
it was fun, different.
It was nice to mix it up. And one of the things I suppose adding to that is even we were still seeing more places to go in our last session. We were still seeing different places. I thought we'd seen them all like early on. And then I think the last session we've probably encountered a further 5 places to go to.
We went to a few new biomes, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, nice.
Definitely.
What's our other sections?
Very quickly, just want to say that I really like the music in the village.
It's really nice music.
Very cool and calming, isn't it?
Calming's the word I was thinking. It calms you before the fight.
So it calmed me until I noticed the loop.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I noticed it looping, it was one soundbite, and I actually can't remember it, but there was a soundbite that I just kept hearing and it started to grate on me. But it was really calming and soothing until then.
Did you notice the cats in the hub that play the drum are 100% on time with the music?
I didn't, but that's cool.
No.
And the drums get louder and quieter the closer you get to them in the soundtrack.
That is
cool.
sick. Cool.
I just love how they integrated that,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Was that all our segments?
I think it was all the segments I can think of. Joe, anything else you want to bring up?
Just what you would you suggest the game? Would you
that's recommendations,
the recommendation time.
Who's going first? Ooh. Joe, you go first, Joe.
Well, I've already recommended it to you three, so I think yes, I would. 100%.
Yeah.
I don't mind going. It's a yes from me, but it's a tentative yes. I definitely recommend. I definitely recommend the game, but you need a guide. Ideally, get a Joe. Get a Joe to help you out. If you know somebody who likes a series already, play it a little bit with them and see if it jives with you. It's a lot at the beginning. So if it doesn't jive with you at the beginning, you can jump off. It's on Game Pass. If you've got an Xbox, very easy to play. I don't think it's convinced me to get into the series, if I'm honest, personally.
No?
No, mainly because it's just a lot. And
it's
like
so
Brad
different from anything else as well.
Yeah, I don't quite get on with the combat as much as I would have liked. Saying that, the last session we did where we fought that big fire...
Magnum Arlo.
Yeah, that
the tiger thing.
That was really cool. That was when it was starting to, like, we could tell how the monsters were like getting harder and with more unique move sets. But
they're not just attack sponges from then on. They're harder.
Which it can get, like with the earlier bosses that we did. It just felt like we were just constantly I was using the longsword and just constantly mashing one button.
There wasn't a lot of feedback that you were doing anything.
Yeah.
Until you went staggered.
There's no health bar as well. Yeah. Which is weird to me. I like a health bar. What can I say?
Yeah.
So
if you knew how much health these monsters had, you would not want the health bar.
Yeah.
It's not quite up my street, but I 100% appreciate everybody who likes Monster Hunters because it's a good game at its core. But not entirely for me. I would still 100% recommend it. Just give it a go, see if you like it. It's hard to get into for newcomers, but if you do like it, keep going. Yeah.
How about you, Brad?
To be honest, I echo a lot of what Jake says. Definitely, if you can play it with someone who's played it before, I think that's something I would 100% recommend. But if you're going in maybe with a group of friends who have never played it, that might be quite a good experience as well, learning it.
If no one knows what they're doing all at the same time, that could be quite a fun time.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I'd recommend it if you were playing solo. I think that might be quite off-putting as an experience.
Oh, yeah. The rampages solo are miserable.
Yeah. But if you're trying to learn everything yourself, that's overwhelming in general. And then because, especially a lot of the earlier monsters are just spongy, you just kind of repeatedly doing the same thing over and over again, which is why I bounced off World. But I definitely recommend this over World, and definitely recommend it with a party of people. Jake said, try it. If you can get into it, great. Keep playing it. I think what I found, personally with it, when I was playing it, and once I got over the controls, so maybe half an hour to an hour into each session, I really started to enjoy it, and I was looking forward to next time. And it sort of, as we would hit the time that we were all jumping off, I'd be like, oh, I kind of want to just play a bit more, unlock a few more. I like that loop of killing the monsters, getting the
gear from
them, and then you can see that monsters are sort of like gear in the equipment that you buy in, and the variety of different equipment. I really like that loop, and I was enjoying it. But then when I'd come off it, especially when it had been maybe a day, I'd kind of forget about it and not really be thinking about going back to it again. And then the week would come around, we'd go again. It would take a minute, get back into the controls, and then I'd be enjoying it again. So I was enjoying it when I was in it and I was playing it, but maybe because we weren't playing it that often, I wasn't finding it pulling me back, if that makes sense. But all that being said, I would recommend it. I definitely recommend this one over World because I think it has a lot of quality of life features that make it much more enjoyable. And play it with friends.
Yeah. It's a big game as well to get into. I can imagine how many hours have you... Yeah, I was going to say you must have put hundreds.
Well, in World, I had over 2,000 hours in that game. And I think in this one, I'm on about 400 and something.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So I think we had about 10.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, games need, in 10 hours, if you're enjoying a game or not, and if you intend to carry on playing it. So if you are by 10 hours, chances are you're probably enjoying it enough to put 400 hours in. So, yeah.
And what about you, Ben? Would you recommend the game?
I enjoyed it, and I'm pretty much echoing what those two guys say. It's... I don't think I'll continue it on my own, only because I didn't have a Joe to lean on. It was very, very good, but I think the most part I enjoyed about it was the group fighting. It was fun for all of us, and funny when one of us turned the wrong direction and fell off a cliff, or this kind of... It was always me. This kind of...
See, I didn't say anything this time.
This kind of team team thing. So I would definitely recommend it as a team, and you have to know what you're going into, have a lot of time on your side, know you want to play it.
Yeah.
That is another thing. It is a time-intensive game. Like once you get your primary like combat, get the gear, get out, loot.
You can't
you can't just turn it off after 1 or 2.
Yeah, you can't turn it on for like
loads.
half an hour and be like, I'll just play it for half an hour before I go out or something.
But I do like that these hunts can be about half an hour.
Yeah.
Whereas the world hunts are a lot longer.
40 minutes, minimum at the beginning of the game,
And then it all goes wrong because somebody smacks something in the face and it follows you, and then there's 2 monsters there at the same time.
That helps.
That helped us. In that case, it did help us. But
yeah. So I would recommend it, but I would say it's a group game to me, and think about the time it takes because it's big.
Yeah.
Did you when we finally beat that purple fire tiger? You jumped off at this point, Brad, but we did try one more hunt and we got it down.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Did you feel a sense of like accomplishment after we beat that? Because it was like a really hard fight.
Absolutely did.
To be fair, yeah.
I enjoyed that fight when we tried it and failed it.
And it really showed us that our 4th leg was limping us.
I thought you were the one who died twice in that Ben using all our lives.
Not when you'd gone.
I would say though that was probably the only time I felt a really good sense of accomplishment, because it was a hard fight.
But I think because
the first wall in the game,
our equipment was overpowered for the earlier content.
Yeah,
I like the defending the gate thing.
Well, that was cool. Yeah,
that was
different reasons, I suppose.
I genuinely have enjoyed the different battle types in it.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean, and the fact that this felt like a boss, the fact that we did struggle, we did die, made it more of a challenge, and I enjoyed that about it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, cool.
Well, this has been Gaming Garnish. You already know our socials, and I think it's time for the end music.
Yes.
Play.
See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.